Hello, everyone. So about 2 weeks ago, we found out how much money Disney made from all five of their Star Wars movies. And some of the results were pretty shocking. Let's get into it. So, Disney released The Force Awakens in December of 2015, and it cost over 600 million to make. And it made over, 2 billion in the box office. And so that ranks number one as the most profitable Star Wars film they made, with over 500 million. And this is not counting merchandise, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales. This is just purely their share from the box office. And so second on the list was The Last Jedi, and that made 324 million. And the third one, Rogue One, had the highest return of investment. Rogue One had a cost of 327 million, and it made over $1 billion in the box office. And fourth was The Rise of Skywalker, which we just found out cost over 500 million to make. So approaching Force Awakens costs. But it made just over $1 billion. So when comparing the cost and the box office return, it made just 48 million, which for Disney was probably a disappointment to make less than 10 times the earnings in the box office. So that was a massive decrease compared to the rest of the sequel movies. Now, number 5, we have Solo, which, if you guys follow me on X, you'll know that's my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. And I'm a huge Han Solo fan. And so I'm disappointed in how that did in the box office. So Solo cost an estimated 270 million to make. And they went through almost a total reshoot and change of direction with the movie. Originally they had Phil Lord and Christopher Miller directing it, but they had a change of plans, and Ron Howard ended up directing it, who is, in my opinion, a fantastic director. He really understood, I think, how to direct a movie like Star Wars. And he got tips from George Lucas, like I mentioned a couple of videos ago, about who Star Wars is for, like the audience. And I think he did a phenomenal job directing Solo. I think the actors were all great, and the story was amazing. Because of their reshoots and recent Star Wars projects, people were kind of put off by it, and the marketing wasn't that great. And the trailer didn't really give a Star Wars vibe, in my opinion. It had, non-Star Wars music for most of the trailer, which I thought was an interesting choice. And another reason why Solo didn't do as well in the box office is because there were two other big franchise, big name movies playing. Avengers Infinity War was playing. It came out a few weeks prior to Solo's release. And Deadpool 2 came out the same month. So it had some pretty competitive big name franchise movies releasing at the same time. So Solo had all of those things working against it, but I feel like now it is very much loved by the core audience, I would say. From someone like myself who's very involved in the Star Wars community on X, I've seen the polls, and the majority of Star Wars fans, core Star Wars fans, like the movie. But so Solo lost 100 million, so they had a net loss because of the reshoot and because people didn't show up at the theater. I did see it in the theaters when it came out, and for me it was love at first sight. I really loved it, and I still do. But yeah, as a super fan of the movie and as a Star Wars fan, it was disappointing to see that not do as well. But like I said, I think it's, loved by the core audience. So those are the 5 movies that Disney has made so far. And those are the profits they made from the box office. And this information is coming from Forbes. So they analyzed documents filed by Disney, and so now we know the full story. Obviously, we have The Mandalorian and Grogu coming out next year, so we'll have to see how that goes and how much it ends up making. The cost, I think, is around 150 million, I think. 160 million. And then we have Starfighter coming out the year after that. So after, the last Star Wars movie came out in 2019. So it has been 6 years almost since the last Star Wars movie came out in theaters. Which, The Rise of Skywalker was the last one, and it made 48 million. So it wasn't very motivating, probably, for Disney to continue with that. And that's when they kind of switched to streaming. Marvel did the same thing. Disney Plus had just come out. The Mandalorian series came out, and it was a big success because of, COVID was happening at the same time. And it kind of jump-started their streaming service. So now we know how much Disney made on these movies. And if you made it this far, comment down below if you liked Solo or not. And I will see you guys in the next video. May the Force be with you.